All right. Welcome to episode 74 of Faith, Fitness, Joy. It is Wonderful Wednesday, November 29th. We are almost at the end of November and moving into December of 2023. And so today I have a channeled message for you for the month of December. So I channeled this message for the collective. And as I tuned into the collective, audience that tunes into this podcast, and just was seeking some guidance as to what to use to provide this channeled message today. I may pull from some other decks that I have, but I was led by my spirit team to use my Light Seer's Tarot for today's reading. And so I have pulled a number of cards for the month of December. And so basically the questions I ask for these monthly readings is what are we moving away from or out of as we move into this new month? What is this new month bringing in for us? Sort of what are kind of going to be the more, I don't want to say pressing, but what's going to be at the forefront for us as we come into December and move through December? And then what challenges or opportunities are presenting themselves in December to help prepare us as we move into January of 2024. So with that, I have pulled 9 cards. And so I'll start with the first 3, which is really all about what we're moving out of and what we're leaving behind us in December. A lot of this is around things that we've been moving through in November, right? So November, this last couple weeks has very much been an internal sort of journey, I guess you could say. There has been a lot happening in the way of spiritual growth, spiritual ascension for many of you who are listening to this. I'm also hearing upgrades. So this could be around your spiritual gifts. This could be upgrades in terms of just moving up to the next level in your spiritual growth, in your ascension, energetically moving to a higher vibration level. There has been a lot of divine communication for many of you that have been occurring in the last couple of weeks. And I'm also getting that this recent full moon that we had last night, a couple nights ago on November 27th, was very significant for many of us in this collective. So the first card that we have in this is the Ace of Swords. So that's what I'm getting a lot of this about around ascension and a lot of just communication from the divine. Some of you may have been drawing closer to God. Some of you may have been getting more messages from angels or your spirit team or God. Some of you may have been experiencing more signs and synchronicities this month. And many of you may have been very focused on your spiritual growth, your development, and really just going deeper within yourself and also on a spiritual level, as well as trying to connect to your higher self and a real heavy and strong focus on the higher self. The other thing that's been happening in recent weeks, we have the 5 of Pentacles here. So first thing I got looking at this card is perhaps for many of us in the collective, almost a sense of overwhelm around finances. This could be also related to business, I'm getting. Like, I'm getting this, like, throwing things against the wall, like doing all these different things, either to bring in more money or in your business. This feels very heavy on the business. Things that you may have been doing in your business to try to bring in new business, bring in new clients, or just expanding your business or bringing in new services or otherwise trying to integrate new things into your business. And just feeling like you're hitting a wall, like just feeling like nothing's working, like you just can't seem to break through. You can't seem to like get that door open. And you're just feeling really frustrated and defeated. And again, this is in recent weeks. But the thing is, you've always had the key, right? The key is right there in front of you. It's like you're missing it. You've been missing it, and it's like something so obvious, and it's so obvious that you're missing it because it's like right in your face, and it's also like really simple. Um, so that's what has been really kind of a predominant thing for the last couple of weeks for many folks. And then also the Seven of Wands. So this has also been a time for many of us to where I think we've all been challenged in many ways, and it depends on how you've handled these challenges that have come up. So many of you may have been experiencing a lot of triggers. You may have been experiencing a lot of things in the past coming up. You may have been experiencing like tests or other types of challenges that are really necessitating you really learning to recenter and go back into meditation and really, stand firm on your truths, on who you are, on all the things that you've learned. Okay, so I'm getting a few things here. So one big thing I'm getting is this has been a time of integrating all the different things that you have been learning as you've been moving through your spiritual growth, and you've been moving through your self-development and your various self-improvement efforts, because it may not be the same thing for everyone. And so as you've been, like, you have become a new person. You have shed so much of the past versions of yourself in these recent months. And you have really found like your inner light. If you're seeing the video of this, you can see there's like this light that almost looks like a rising sun or a star in the solar plexus of the woman in the picture here. You found your personal power. You found this new way of being. But you've been in this process of shedding the old, right? So there may have been this feeling in recent weeks of like, God, I thought I've already worked through all this. Like, why is this coming up again? And why am I so triggered by this? Or why did I let myself get so upset about that? I know I've experienced this in recent weeks as well. And it's almost like they're telling me like phantom limb syndrome, and that's not the best example, but they're giving me that example. It's like when you lose a limb, right? Like you still feel the limb there. It's kind of the same thing with these emotions and these triggers that you've moved through and that you've healed and that you've let go of and processed. But there's still like the imprints and that knee-jerk reaction that comes up sometimes. And there's still those certain people that maybe can still just hit those buttons just right. And so many of you have been moving through this time of like needing to take a step back and go, wait a second. Okay, I know what this is about. I know this is about that time when I was younger and blah, blah, etc. And then you can like recenter, or maybe it's been going back into meditation to kind of like really calm yourself down. And also for many of you have been learning the importance of protecting your energy. So it kind of looks like she's sitting inside of a crystal ball or something in the picture. And that's really showing me our energy field and this aura that we have around us that's about 6 feet wide on all sides of us, and really learning to be a lot more aware of protecting our energy. And that can look very different ways, right? And it can include different things. It includes things like remembering to ground yourself every morning before you leave the house, remembering to ask to put protection around yourself before you leave and before you're around other people. For like me personally, I always ask Archangel Michael to put a bubble of protection around me before I leave the house. And it may also include, and for many of you, that this has been a process in these recent weeks of severing connections and ties with people. whether that's like actually ending relationships or cutting these cords energetically from people who there are still attachments to. So there can be all kinds of attachments that we have with people that we may not want. So even like if we moved on from that relationship with that person, if we don't consciously ask to sever those ties and have those cords cut energetically, they can still drain us and deplete us. Or if you're giving that person energy in the form of thoughts, like you're thinking about what they did or anything like that. So that has been some of what's been going on for a lot of us in these recent weeks, and just learning how to navigate that and learning how to protect your energy, learning the importance of cutting these cords, and learning how to be a lot more mindful of who you let in your space. And the last thing I'm getting around that card is that for many of you, there may have also been a lot more attention on daily cleansing of your chakras and just balancing your chakras, and just really finding your balance within yourself in general, has been something in recent weeks. Okay, so moving into what is coming in the month of December. Okay, so the first card we have is the Queen of Swords. And so what I'm getting from this is like in the month of December, moving into a period of reflection. So this is, you know, where this last card I was talking about how a lot of what was happening in recent weeks was kind of acclimating and to this new way of being and this new person that you've become through all this work that you've been doing. As we move into December, you know, you're going to be more integrated into that person and a lot more like confident and solid in that new version of you. You're going to really be reflecting and looking at all that you've overcome and all that you've come through. And for many of you, you also may be looking back on past versions of yourself, and this could even be pictures. I'm seeing some of you looking through photo albums or like boxes of pictures, and just having like this feeling of like, oh my goodness, like I'm not even that same person anymore, and like not even recognizing the person that you were in even recent past. The other thing I'm getting with this card is like, it's not just confidence, it's like this contentment and assuredness of where you're going. As well as in your own strength. Like, it's like no matter what life throws at you, you have what you need to be able to handle anything that comes your way. It's like all this shit you've been through, all the things that you've overcome, all of the growth and lessons that you've learned, like you've really, like moving into December, it's like really harnessing that into like a superpower, like your secret weapon, like the sword she's holding. It's like you may never have to use it, but you know that you have it, and you know that like you've transcended into this state of like being unshakable, being almost unbreakable. It's like it's a whole other like version of you, and like a higher version of you maybe than you've seen or realized to date in this lifetime. And so also in December is you're going to start feeling really certain about the path that you're on, the path that you've chosen, the path that you've been walking. you're going to start to feel really confident in sharing your light. You're going to start to feel more confident in the light that you have. Like, I just see, like, for many of you, it's like you're just letting it out. There's no more hesitation or feeling like you need to hold back or you need to dim so that others don't feel a certain way about your light. I'm also getting like this fondness of it, like trying to think how to articulate it. It's not like a cockiness or an arrogance. It's like starting to appreciate the uniqueness of your own light. And I'm hearing like embracing your weird, like just being less concerned about what other people think or whether you come off as strange. And I'm hearing about wishing upon a star. So the other thing here is that as we move into December this month, I'm hearing manifesting miracles. I'm hearing like magic, manifestation, like blessings. Like I just see all these like, so if you're looking on the video, all these little stars around her, they're coming down from above. So for many of you that have been really working on manifesting and really working on your energy, doing all that comes with manifestation, right? So if you're familiar with this, you already know that it's not just a matter of sitting down and writing things that you want or visualizing what you want. You also have to do a lot of energetics around it, like feeling the feelings of it and working on your own energetic state, maintaining a good vibration, a high vibration for yourself, meditating and doing all these other things on a day-to-day basis. And all of that is going to be paying off in December. Like you're going to start seeing the fruits of all of your work in December. Like opportunities are going to be making their way to you. I'm getting like people. So some of you might be meeting new people. Some of you might be developing new relationships that will help your business or with your career path or your job. Things coming in unexpectedly. A wishbone is significant for some of you. I'm not sure why, I'm just getting that. For many of you, the wishbone is significant. So this may be seeing an actual wishbone, like this could be like holiday gatherings and someone's asking who wants the wishbone. I'm also seeing a pendant, like a wishbone pendant. So this could be a gift that some of you get. Or maybe you see this somewhere. Or maybe a wishbone means something to you in some other way. So just be aware of that. Like you may be seeing wishbones. And if you do, just know that it's a way of guiding you on the right path, keeping you on path, letting you know that you're on the right path. Be mindful if you do come across one and this resonates for you, like what's happening in that moment. If it's meeting a new person and the wishbone comes up somehow, or you're with someone new, or you're having a certain type of conversation, or you're thinking about a certain thing, be like, take note of it because the wishbone is telling you something about that. It's letting you know that it's aligned and that it somehow relates to whatever you've been wishing for or whatever you've been manifesting. Okay, I'm hearing a couple things. I'm hearing it's all available for you. Don't forget that it's all available for you. And I'm also hearing Don't Stop Believing, that song by Journey. That song may be significant for some of you, or it just may be the lyric, like, just don't stop believing. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to lose hope or faith. Keep it up. Keep doing the things. So December, I'm getting lots of miracles, lots of amazing things coming in, lots of opportunities happening. Okay, so then I also have the Three of Swords here. And this card has been popping up all over the place for me. Anyway, so for many of you, a lot of what you have been working through, let's say over the past year, maybe it's been longer than that, maybe it's been a little bit less than that. A lot of what many of you have been focusing on is healing the wounds of the heart, trying to put the pieces of your heart back together, and more than that, also trying to allow yourself and feel safe, opening your heart up again. As well as untangling the attachments of the heart from the wrong people or from the people who have hurt you in the past. So again, like severing these ties energetically, literally, whatever that looks like. Probably both. But this is all behind you. Like it's like you've paid your dues. Like all of that heartache, heartbreak, pain, all the shit that you've been through around the heart it's over. And it's like, I don't know, you could see, if you're seeing the video, you could see her face a couple different ways. What I'm getting is like, she is like laughing, crying. It's like this huge relief. Like, I don't have to carry this shit anymore. I don't have to carry the pain anymore. I've learned the lessons. I I have come through like all the things that I needed to move through to understand why these things happened or how they were helping me heal or whatever they were teaching you. And if you think of those lessons as like the gold, that's what you hold on to, that's what you have with you, but the rest of it as just it's released. It's like the worst of the storm is over. Like it's all moved out. It's all like behind you now. So you're moving into, for many of you, it's like moving into this new season. Okay, so challenges and opportunities coming into January. Okay, so as we get closer to January, some of you might be confronted with different things that will maybe challenge you. It might feel like you're losing things. It might feel like there's going to be things that come up that might feel like some kind of a loss, but they're not. They're not losses. So this is the Five of Cups. And you see like this glittery stuff kind of going down into this hole. These are not losses. These are things that need to be let go of. These are things that you need to allow to release and return back to God to be transmuted into something else. And the process of doing this for many of you may feel like difficult. You may find yourself in I'm hearing like the blues. There may be some sadness around it. So I'm seeing that a lot of you um, are going to be moving through like a process of like reevaluating maybe relationships or situations or people. And these are things that you had a lot of hopes for. They're things that you maybe wanted to see happen a different way. Okay, and I'm hearing something about like how sometimes we have people that we love so much and we care about so much, but they don't feel that way about us. And so I feel like a lot of that has to do with this card right now. Like a lot of you are going to be moving through that. Like reflecting on some of these past relationships where that was the case. And I'm getting that it's going to be like a process of releasing those sort of hopes and dreams, because it's kind of like a death. They're telling me it's like a death um when a relationship or a situation doesn't go the way that we hoped it would. It's a loss, because all that we were dreaming and hoping about that thing is like gone. So it can never become what we were hoping and wanting it to be. And so all that energy that we put into it, like it's like, where does it go? Right. So it has to be released. And just know that there may be some emotions that come with that, but it's not going to deplete you. It's going to be restored to you. Like it's actually going to make more room within you for your energy to come back. So like, see how, if you're seeing the video, you can see where it's like coming back up to her shoulders and some of it is going down. So it's going to be a process of letting go and releasing what needs to be released. But also, as you do that, you're going to be reclaiming all that energy back to yourself that you gave to those things. And what you're not realizing as you go through this process, because as you move through this process, you're going to be sort of like focused on the emotions that are going to be coming up through this. What you're not going to realize is all of the beautiful things that you're starting to acquire and bring in and make space for energetically. And that's in this bowl behind her, where it looks like there's all these little balls of light in this bowl, these really pretty balls of light. So I'm hearing something about how we have to allow ourselves to release these things so that we can make more room for new things energetically. So that's going to be something that's coming towards the end of the month of December. And it's going to be really important that you allow yourself to move through this, give yourself grace, and allow yourself to feel the feelings. Because what's happening is it's making way for what's coming in, which is the Four of Wands. And so like right away, I'm already getting like lots of celebration, new relationships. I'm hearing freedom. A lot with celebration and also opportunity. So like you're not going to be in this sort of emotional, like kind of releasing, reflecting state very long. It's going to be brief. And that's for those of you that are going to be moving through this. For some of you, just the awareness of it coming may be enough to prepare you that like you can move through it and have more of an awareness, like, oh, this is about, releasing. So the faster you move through that and doing this work around the release is going to create room for all this joy, all this happiness, new friendships, new relationships, new opportunities. I'm getting something about like looking forward to the new year, looking forward to January with excitement, and just allowing yourself to celebrate and enjoy, and have fun, because the last card that we have here is the wheel. And I'm hearing fortunes in your favor. So like all the stuff, like none of it was for naught. Like everything is going to be shifting to your favor in the weeks and months ahead. As we move into January, like because of all this work that you've done, like you've created so much space within yourself for all of these amazing, wonderful things to be coming into you. I'm hearing like ending cycles. So for a lot of you, you've ended cycles, you've um, completed cycles. So many of you could be the chosen ones in your family to break the generational curses or heal your lineage. And so many of you may have been doing your own inner healing work, and maybe or maybe not being aware that in doing that, you're also healing future generations and past generations. And so it's like the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one is what I'm getting. So it's like coming into 2024, everything is starting to shift in your favor. All the things that you've been working towards and the leaps of faith, the trials and the tests and the growth, like all of it is going to start to pay off. I hear fortune favors the bold. So for many of you, you have been very bold. You've been taking bold action. You've been doing things that scare you. You've taken leaps of faith. You've been going out there in this past year, these past months, and doing things that maybe you're questioning if that's the right thing to do, and you're feeling scared, but you felt led to do it. You felt that intuitive pull to do it. And you're going to start to see the reward of that. You're going to start to see how all of these things are going to start working in your favor, and just lining up for you. I almost don't like to say working in your favor, because really things always are. But because on the flip side of that, it all has to do with our mindset and our internal paradigm, right? So like you get what you believe. And because of all the work that you've been doing over these past months to shift your mindset, to change your limiting beliefs, to alchemize them into better, higher vibration energy, to grow spiritually, to grow personally, all of that is like culminating, and has opened the way for you to start receiving all of these opportunities and the successes that you've been working towards, and the increase in income, the increases in business, For some of you, this could be new relationships, or it could even be shifts and changes in your relationships for the better. It's going to be like you can't lose for many of you. So, that is what is coming in the month of December. I'm going to leave it at that since that was quite a bit. I can always do another episode next week to kind of just a little bit more of a with some of the different cards. But that is what is coming for December and how we're being prepared for January. So it looks like we are heading into a beautiful year for many of you. As always, take what resonates and leave what does not. You can also book private sessions with me if you're interested in that. I will include a link in the episode description for my calendar. You can also always reach out to me on social media. I'm Rochelle Renee on Facebook. I also have a Faith Fitness Joy Facebook page and Instagram page, as well as a TikTok account. So if you want to reach out to me on any of those and find out how you can book private sessions, or you can also, I can do private readings via Zoom or without doing a call if you prefer that. So just reach out to me and let me know. And I'd be happy to get you set up with that. And with that, I'm going to thank you all, as always, for tuning in to today's episode of Faith, Fitness, Joy. And please share any thoughts and what resonates for you in the comments. As always, I'd love to hear from you. All right, I'll see y'all on the next episode.